Everyone, so today I'm going to be telling you guys like a story. I haven't done like one of these kind of videos before, like story time or whatever. I do kind of want to like get into these kind of videos, like story time videos, and like telling you guys any of my stories or experiences kind of thing. And yeah, so today I'm going to be sharing with you guys like a personal story, kind of personal. Basically something that I went through a couple of years ago. And yeah, so you guys can probably tell what it is by the title. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the time I had surgery back in 2012. So 4 years ago. Oh well, 3.5. Yeah, and I'm not trying to moan or complain, because obviously there's other people out there that I've been through worse than this one thing, or like more ill, or have been more ill, or had worse surgery sort of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not trying to like compare what I went through to what other people went through either, but I just wanted to like share it with you guys. And yeah, so basically I had surgery at the age of 12, 2 months before my 13th birthday. Or 2.5 months before my 13th birthday. And I was at school one day. It was a Friday, and I was having some pains. Like I had had similar pains before, and it was around my sort of appendix area. I'd been having these sort of pains for about a year, but this day, Friday 12th of October to be specific, it was really bad, and I was at school. This was at the secondary school I went to before I moved secondary school. I was at this secondary school for the first 2.5 years, and then I moved to a different secondary school. Yeah, this was at the other secondary school. And I was like year 8, and I went and told the teacher, and I told my tutor teacher and PE teacher. I was like, basically said, I'm not feeling very well, I'm having these really bad pains, I've had them before. And they're like, they didn't even ask if I was on my period, they just assumed, they were like, oh, it's probably a period. And I was like, no, it's not, like, it's really not my period. I know it's not my time of the month. And they were like, oh, I don't know what else it could be. So basically they were shit teachers. Because it was a shit school, just putting that out there, you know, just being straight. And so I carried on with the day, struggling, you know. School finished at 3:10, and my mum picked me up from school. So 3:10, school finished. By 20 minutes later, by 3:30, I was in hospital. We went to the doctor straight away, told him what happened, like how I was feeling and symptoms and everything. And by 3:30, 20 minutes later, the same day, Friday 12th of October, I was in hospital, lying on the hospital bed. They like went over my stomach, and I had to explain it to them and everything. And yeah, I stayed in hospital that night. The next day, Saturday 13th of October, 13 being unlucky for some, it was unlucky for me that day. That day I had surgery. I had my appendix removed, and there was a cyst on my ovary, so I had that chunk of my ovary removed. Basically my appendix had been like flaring up for a year, like it had been like something bad was going on with it, so it kept getting worse and worse over this year. So that's why I kept getting the pains over this period of the like 1 year, or just over a year. It was like flaring up, and if it had been left any longer, like for a few months longer, it could have like gotten so flared up, it could have gotten so much worse. But yeah, because they did keyhole surgery, which is where they open it up underneath your belly button, and then I had like 2 other littler holes near the lower of my stomach. Like, I don't know how they removed my appendix and the cyst through these like holes, like 2 little ones at the bottom, then like a bigger one near my belly button. But luckily they got rid of the appendix and the chunk of cyst. So yeah, they kind of removed my appendix in a funny way, but yeah, and then because the how they'd cut me open underneath my belly button through keyhole surgery, it was kind of a bit of a more funny. Well, it was sort of similar to the two others at first, but then it all changed. So after the first lot of surgery, I was in there for about 2 or 3 days. Then I went home. Yeah, I went home, and I wasn't able to go to school because I was really unwell. And Mum phoned up at the school and basically told them that I couldn't go in because I just had surgery. And we were basically really pissed off with the school, and because they'd left me in pain, they didn't like send me home that day or anything. So yeah, I was at home one day, and so I had the first lot of surgery, and obviously couldn't go to school, so I was at home. So 8 days later, after my first lot of surgery, it was a Sunday the 21st of October. I was lying in bed watching a film, and it was like in the morning, around sort of 9-10ish in the morning. It was before midday, and there was like, it was sunny outside, but I had the curtain closed. I could hear people outside doing work and whatever, and I smelled something funny, and I wasn't sure what it was, but I thought, because my window was open very slightly, I thought, oh, it could be something outside, because sometimes, you know, things can smell funny outside. And about 10 minutes went past, and I was like, you know what, I can still smell something really funny, and it wasn't a very nice smell, so I was like, I'll just check my stomach, you know, because, you know, also I was worried about my stomach. I wanted to like look after myself. So I lifted up my cover, and literally, like, no joke, there was it, and I had like this patch on my stomach to like protect the scar around my belly button where I'd had the keyhole surgery, and basically pus was coming through my t-shirt, literally like so much pus, it stank so badly, and I was like, shit, I gotta go tell Mum. So I like walked really quickly into my mum's room, didn't even pause the film obviously, and because I was still kind of sore from the first lot of surgery, I had to like carefully get up and like carefully walk, but I tried to like speed walk to my mum's room, and Mum was like right next door, and I stood in her doorway, and I was like, Mum, because she was still asleep, because it was her day off and everything, and she was tired. I was like, Mum, and she woke up and she was like, what? Because she was like obviously like really worried, and she could smell it straight away, and like I was by the door, and like, you know where my wall is over there was like this much distance between us, so between me and the wall, there was like, or big, like when, sort of where my like top of where my pillows are, there was like that much distance between us, and Mum could smell it, and I was like, oh my god, there's this stuff coming out of my stomach, Mum, what shall I do? And she was like, oh my god, it's like pus. So I wasn't sure if it was like pus or something else. So Mum went downstairs, grabbed me a tea towel. I had to put it on my stomach, but the pus was like coming through a tea towel as well. So yeah, and then after Mum stroked my bed, we phoned up the doctor or something, or the hospital or something, or we just went straight to hospital. I can't remember what we did, but yeah, we either called the hospital or went straight to the hospital, and yeah. And basically the hospital had given me an infection from the first lot of surgery, plus the surgeon that first did surgery on me was like some foreign guy. And Mum was like, so yeah, I went to hospital, and they looked at me and looked at what was going on, and we said what was going on, and yeah, and Mum was like, was saying to the foreign guy, or about the foreign guy, oh, what, did he leave his dirty knife and fork in there or something? Because he was foreign. And he was like really weird and grumpy, and he was an arse, and basically a shit surgeon, and he gave me an infection. And so yeah, I had to go through a second lot of surgery because they'd given me an infection from when I was first in hospital. And yeah, it was really horrible. And after the second lot of surgery, where they had to like reopen, where they because when they first cut me open and where they did the keyhole surgery under my belly button, because obviously they tried to put it together and everything, stitch it and stuff, they had to reopen that one where they'd done the keyhole surgery, and then that left me with like a really big hole, literally, and like, because I was a bit swollen from the surgery and there was like a hole under my stomach, you couldn't really see my belly button because of like the swelling, and then the hole underneath my belly button, like belly button was being like squished together, so couldn't really see it. And Mum had thought they'd like gone through my belly button, like actually cut off my belly button, and Mum was like, oh, I shouldn't be able to have kids now, and you know, she's gonna have to pay for plastic surgery and all that. It did look really bad. I'm gonna insert some pictures at the end of this video of what my stomach looked like a week after I had had my second lot of surgery. Yeah, so that happened. And I can't remember, I think it was like the second time I'd gone to hospital, because I hadn't gone to the toilet for so long, for a shit or a wee, for a poo or a wee, yeah, just putting that out there, then they were saying that I'd come in with like gastroenteritis, and gastroenteritis is way like shit, we go into the toilet basically like all the time, and Mum was like, bullshit, she hasn't gone to the toilet for 5 or 6 days, and because it was the woman, and then the woman said to another guy that I'd come in with it, but with gastroenteritis, when in fact I hadn't. And the guy came in and was like, oh, the lady said that she'd come in with gastroenteritis, and Mum was like, bullshit, no she didn't, she hadn't been to the toilet for like 5 or 6 days, and he just kind of looked at the woman, and the woman just looked down like shit, shit, I shouldn't have said that. And yeah, and also while I was in hospital, I think it was like after the second lot of surgery, because they'd already made me ill with the infection obviously before, I also got norovirus while I was in there. I don't know if it was like from another patient, or if it was from one of the staff, or from like where the hospitals might not be very clean. I don't really know, but I caught norovirus while I was in there, and like I had rotavirus when I was 4 years old. And I nearly died. I nearly died because of having rotavirus when I was 4 years old, and because of like the infection and everything, and then having surgery twice and getting norovirus while I was in there and all that, because of all this drama, I was so close to like catching septicemia as well, and because of that, like no joke, actually being serious, I could have died. I was actually quite close. I was that ill that I could have caught septicemia and I could have died, and that's the second time that I could have died, and yeah, second time in my life that I could have died. And when I was in hospital, also like, my friends came to see me and everything, and yeah, it was kind of difficult, and I was so sore as well, and it was really hard, like if my friends made me laugh, it was hard to laugh. And there was this patient, because in one room there was like 3 beds, and obviously there was like curtains so you could like cut it off, but also you could still hear, and there was this girl next to me called Alice, and she was sort of like tomboy, and she had something wrong with her ovary or something, and like because they wouldn't help her or like try and sort her out or do surgery on her or whatever, she was in so much pain. She was literally up all night, all the time, crying all the time. And I was in hospital for days after my second lot of surgery. I was in there for quite a few days, and I also got given quite a few cards from friends, and I also got a card from my tutor at my old secondary school, like tutor group, like the whole lot. Yeah, so that was basically everything, and obviously like the food there was crap, to be honest. The only food that I liked was ice cream, to be honest. That was the only good bit. And there was this like little girl opposite me at one point. She was 10 and she had like diabetes and she was really ill, but she was so cute and adorable. There's also this other woman who we met called Vicky, and she had like a little 2-year-old baby. Also, the baby's gonna be older than 2 now, but at the time she was 2. Her baby was ill, but the baby was like really cute. But yeah, that was basically my story. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys everything. And yeah, and I've still got scars to prove it now. I might show you guys actually what my scars look like. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to tell, but that's one scar there. If you guys can see that, like underneath my belly button. It's actually healed so well over the last couple of years. And then I have two lower ones. Because of my jeans, you might not be able to tell, but I have one down here and one over here. Got one here, and you can't really see it because the other one is down here, like there, but you can't really see it because of my jeans. I'll insert my mum's pictures that she took a week after I had the second heart surgery. Sorry, my camera just cut out. So that's why I kind of like stopped talking in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, I'll insert the pictures. Warning, if you don't like gross things or holes in people's stomachs or surgery, then I wouldn't look at the pictures if I was you. And some people actually feel sick looking at these pictures and don't like these pictures, and like, I'll insert pictures for anyone that wants to see, and also for proof. And also, don't let teachers assume things. Make sure your hospital has good surgeons and staff. And also, while I was in hospital, this one woman was really bitchy. She was a right arsehole. So don't let people be arses to you while you're in hospital. And yeah, do your thing. But yeah, I sort of hope in a way that you guys did enjoy this video. And so yeah, I'm gonna finish this video now. And comment, rate, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye.